Welcome everybody. Summoner Circle. I'm Null Space, and let's go around. KB.
I'm KB813 from Tampa as Coco. Well, actually, his camera wasn't on, so never mind. Disregard.
I can see it now.
That road. Yeah, we can see it now. KB813.
I don't care about Tampa anymore because they got rid of the creamsicle uniforms and the Buccaneer, old school Buccaneer logo.
That's fair.
J-Ax is here. We got Pastor
Yeah,
Coco.
man, I'm here. And Pastor Coco.
What's up, everybody?
Boys.
Sorry, we had a earring crisis in my house. That's why I was running back and forth for a minute.
It happens. It happens. You're a good dad.
I have a 10-year-old
Exactly.
daughter now, so
Absolutely.
Anyway, yeah, new content day. I haven't actually done anything with new content other than the abs man fight we were talking about a second ago. That's the only thing I've really looked at today. But
Not only did we get content, we had content a couple days ago. Now, I don't know if anybody else had an opportunity to hop into those incursions and get an opportunity to try fighting against those two champs that we had introduced.
I have not tried them yet.
No?
I haven't either.
Good
Not
luck.
yet.
It's rough.
I bet.
I knew they'd
I
be
will-
tough.
I will say, yeah, the introduction of these two champs. I will say that it was something I've made comments in the past about how we tend to see early in the year really defender-focused champs, and while neither one of these champs has to be a defender, I would say that fighting them has made them very evident that they're both going to be incredible defender champs, and we might be looking at dual use, but it seems to be sticking to the trend. You know, we had Terax, and we've had a lot of other. I believe Arcus might have been also. Oh, not Arcus, but there has been a few that have been introduced at the beginning of the year as defenders, and I just wanted to get your thoughts. Do you think that introducing defenders at the beginning of the year might be a miss in that situation, or do you think, like, if they're dual use and they've got recognition, like Riri, people know who she is. She was in the movie. Ironheart, if you're a comic book fan, just might not have the recognition. But any thoughts on the introduction of like defenders heavy at the beginning of the year?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't remember if I'm supposed to say this, but I'll just go ahead and say it, and I'll ask for forgiveness later. It's probably not just going to be here at the beginning of the year. I think
Oh, we definitely
I
have a
think
lot more back-
we're getting lots of defenders this year. So, but also, I don't think, and I haven't played against it. It could just be node combinations. Ironheart's focus is not really to be a hard defender. Like they literally described her as a glass cannon. So I mean, she's more like
Very versatile.
in the vein of Wasp, like able to put out tons of damage, but not super like survivability wise. But Dust is going to be a pain, I would assume.
She is.
I will say, I watched the spotlights earlier today so that I could be semi-informed when we talked about this tonight.
Nice.
And I don't know if anybody noticed when I sent my message, but I sent a message that said they did it again. And what I was referring to is that I watched Dust Spotlight, and they took a character who I have no like emotional connection to or any like knowledge of, as far as, I mean, I've seen her in X-Men comics, but don't really have like an attachment to her or anything. But as soon as I watched the Spotlight, I was like, well, I have to have this character, and I want to play them right now. Like, just a really neat kit, does some really cool things. Animations look amazing. I just love that we're at a point where, like, when she activates a sandstorm, there's actually a sandstorm like on the screen around her and stuff like that. You know, So if you have an older phone, sorry that it's gonna lag out on you, but hopefully people are getting better phones now, because I don't think your phone can keep up with mcoc if you stay behind for too long anymore. But yeah, I mean, she looks really cool, and counters some really annoying things that other champs have, and it looks like Riri is going to counter some stuff too for some of the annoying mutants. So I like Ironheart. She was my favorite part of the Black Panther movie, like I said last week. I'm super excited to play her. She looks like a lot of fun. So
I know they're gonna fix Dust. There's like one glaring
they're
issue.
gonna
She
fix
doesn't
her.
fill people up with sand and make them explode.
Yeah.
So
There's always
she'll be
there's always
Mortal
rebalance.
Kombat.
There's always rebalance. No.
There's
yeah,
always a
she'll be
chance of this
rebalanced for sure.
being added into at some point. There's many opportunities for someone like that to happen. People talk about skins, maybe changing the SP3.
I mean, they did
I
have
know it.
that accidental Twitter post about skins and a crystal
Yeah.
or something. They were like, wait, it wasn't nothing. So I don't know. It would be cool though.
It would be cool. I mean, that's something that I hope that we get an opportunity. I was planning on asking you guys, but let's do a little tease for it. When there's other major content to talk about, I have a couple really cool questions, and one of them will be if they were going to add in non-game-changing customization stuff, what were some of them? And one of the suggestions I personally was going to say is an SP3 changing, like the scene we get, just with you unlock it or $10, and you get to change what Captain America and Infinity War's SP3 looks like to something else, or could have been cool. Might be a cool idea. So a little lead
would be
into
cool.
a future conversation I hope to have with you guys.
Like little different fatalities.
Exactly. Was
Yeah,
what I was
exactly.
thinking. The fatality thing. That's exactly what I was thinking. Because I'm like, MK does it. They still do that.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
alternate special threes could be
Ooh.
cool.
But speaking
Yeah.
of Dust, I was wondering if we had an opportunity to maybe head into the library and find out a little bit more about maybe her connections with the champs, maybe that they're connecting her to.
So yeah, the synergies are live. And today on my break, I was just writing all the connections today. That's what I was doing. What I love. Lore, got a full notebook full of fun stuff. So who do you guys want to start with first? Dust or Ironheart?
Well, let's start with Dust.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
All
do
right.
it.
Yeah. So okay. So if you don't know, we talked about Dust. That she's a former X-Men. Now she's a part of the Champions. Her powers are, to the bio of the game, says convert body into silicon particles, which, as you know, creates sandstorm, which is really cool to just hear an explanation that maybe we didn't bring that up, that silicon particles. So I love that they explained that. So her first synergy bonus, which is with Kamala Khan, called Faith. I think this is pretty cool. Something on the wish list we actually had on the wish list as one of our recommendations for a synergy with her. So that's just really awesome to see.
Very cool.
The second one is going to be Shallow Twins with Jubilee. And this is this is basically the right after M Day, where she moved into Jubilee, and they were roommates, and that's obviously why she has that synergy. And maybe even Noel, you could actually explain a little bit more about that.
Fantastic. Yeah. The devastation of M-Day really reduced the amount of mutants that were around, and because of that, there were originally many different teams of younger mutants all vying for an opportunity to join the main X-Men team. They were going by different famous team names. One of them was called the New Mutants. One of them was called the Hellions. Bunch of different names and bunch of different really, really cool characters were introduced. And then M-Day happened, and a lot of them lost their powers. And because of that, they were being sent somewhere else. They were still, by a lot of people, disliked because they were mutants. So they had to be put into hiding, but it wasn't safe for them. And, they didn't have powers. So they were being sent away, and some terrible things happened. But it really, really damaged Dust's whole personality. It changed the way she had grown very close to a lot of these people who unfortunately passed, and because of that, she really needed to find someone who could mentor her. Jubilee was a good bit older, and had come up with the Gen X team, and was at the point where she was part of the mentor team. And I believe she might have been leading a team at that point, but she took an interest in connecting to Dust, and it's actually really wonderful. One of the things X-Men do well, and one of the things they don't do well a lot of the time, is female to female relationships, like friendships. It's usually very well done, and that's actually a really cute relationship. And I would recommend people look into the whole thing surrounding M-Day and the time period after that, because X-Men went in a really interesting direction. They went from being extremely, extremely powerful and many, many to being very few, which was a real connection to what the characters were originally introduced to represent, which was a minority in real fear. So yeah, that's actually really cool that they would connect. They would connect with Jubilee, and actually, I think it's kind of cool because her kit kind of reminds me of Jubilee a little bit too. So it's very cool.
Dude, absolutely. I love that. The comics, something that I like for her comics. I specifically, I didn't read it, as it was coming out, and I'm just now kind of revisiting some comics I haven't read or just in a long time. So it's cool to hear, since you're a fan of her, which is awesome.
Well, and when I was looking at her fandom page the other day, just trying to familiarize myself with her, like when I saw that her first appearance was in Morrison's new X-Men run, I don't even like. I've read that. I love that run. It's great. I didn't even remember Dust being in it because it's been a long time since I read it. But like, I totally forgot that was where she showed up for the first time. So
yeah, she's been around for a bit.
Yeah. So.
Indeed, dude.
Jay, I was going to jump in real fast because I don't know, because not everybody goes and looks at the spotlights and stuff, and Mike doesn't do the synergies in the spotlight vids anymore, so I thought we could just quick run over like what they actually are as well. So the Kamala Khan one, when Dust spins up a sandstorm, which is as an attacker after a heavy attack and after her special 3, I believe. Her next special attack is passively unblockable, which if you've read her kit, if you activate a special 3, it doesn't use any power, but you can't activate multiple ones in a row because you can't activate a special 3 when the sandstorm is up. But what you can do is, like, basically you keep all of your power so you can throw a special 2 immediately after you throw a special 3. So with Kamala, you can spin up a sandstorm with a special 3, and then you can just immediately launch that special 2, and it will be unblockable. And then for Kamala, she gains a fury, a 15% fury for 5 seconds every time her poison immunity is triggered, and it maxes out at 3 stacks. So that's what that synergy does. And then the Jubilee one, whenever the opponent activates a Purify, Dust has a 35% chance to inflict a sand passive. So you get to skip a step, basically, with Jubilee. Because you're going to stack sand debuffs and then purify them to passive, so you get a chance to skip the one step. And then for Jubilee, it pauses her fireworks surge for 3.5 seconds when the opponent purifies a debuff. So it's actually a pretty solid synergy for Jubilee. You can get in, like,
Most of these
turn on
they're
the
pretty good over around.
turn on the like your orange, your damage focused firework surge, and then if you're fighting a heavy purified champ, you know, it'll keep pausing, and so
Pop, 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 pop.
make Jubilee actually pretty solid in the right matchups, you know. So
We know someone who will be very happy about that.
Yes.
I think she might care a little bit, yeah. So
Fantastic. Is there more, Jay? Do we have more synergies?
Oh yeah,
to go
there's
over?
there's a lot of synergies. In
yeah,
there.
Dust
There's a lot
actually
of-
has quite a few.
Exciting.
All right, so she's got 3 more. The next one we kind of mentioned before, but it's actually roommates with X-23, which is after her first roommate Surge, I believe, which is a cool character.
Mhm.
Love Surge. And X-23 is post Surge and post roommates with Jubilee, kind of. Yeah, and the just kind of what we talked about before is like her bonding with her teammates, and that a lot of that female friendship that you see in like Kitty Pryde and Magic. It's definitely prevalent with her in the comics as well, which is awesome. The next one is the Benders of Earth. I wonder what a reference this is to. Terrax, Magneto, House of X Magneto, Karnak. What do you guys think about that synergy?
It's fun.
Honestly,
I like the name.
It's
fun.
yeah, it's a very cool. I love when they grab other pieces of pop culture and move it in. It's always really fun.
No Quake.
Yeah, we got some.
She's
Well-
not an Earthbender.
you know why Quake is not on there. She kind of would be an airbender if you think about it, from gravity. Yeah, so we got, obviously right now you see in the game, I think there's some challenges, right, for some Fire Nations, some Earth Nomads.
Yeah,
So some fun Avatar of the Last Airbender love. I like
very
it.
fun. Yeah,
It's not bad.
And then the last synergy, of course, is gonna be friends with Kamala, Wolverine, Phoenix, and X-23, all teammates and friends of hers. So yeah, Coco, if you want to go over what each synergy does.
Sure.
for
So the
Dust.
X-23 one, for Dust, when you strike an unstoppable opponent, while Sandstorm is active, you get a personal prowess passive, and then this is interesting for X-23. She starts with a disguised charge, and what it does is when you're struck by an attack that would deal more than 5% of your max health, it consumes that charge to basically negate all the damage, and it works against anything except special 3s. So basically you can tank one giant hit of something. I'm not sure, I don't know if there's like a specific lore thing behind that, but it's an interesting synergy. So the Benders of Earth, for each unique synergy champion from those synergies, which is, like I said, Sandman, Terex, the 2 Magnetos, and Karnak, you get a 4% attack rating boost per champion. So it stacks as long as it's a unique champion. You can't throw like 3 Magnetos on there, but. And then the Friends one is a armor rating one, so all champions gain plus 130 armor rating. So
The classic.
yeah, the
Yeah,
classic
those are old school.
armor
Yeah.
synergy that a lot of champs have for the friends or teammate type thing. So that's those.
Absolutely.
That's Dust synergies. The Jubilee one's interesting. I think, we can ask Dragon and she can let us know how that works in practicality, because we know she's got
Absolutely.
a Jubilee ranked up already. And Dust is a girl, so we know that if she gets a Dust, she'll be ranking her up. So she can let us know how it works in practical application at some point. But
I'm just really excited for Dust. I can't wait.
yeah, she looks
Wow.
she looks really good. The animations are great, and on paper and in spotlight form. I mean, I haven't gone hands on yet, but the kit seems
Yeah.
pretty strong.
Even if it's not strong, it does look like it will be fun. Like,
And
just
fun.
the
It definitely-
utility
well,
of
it's
the
definitely
SP3,
fun.
Yeah, yeah, and that's all I really need at this point. Like, if
It's
she's not
it's
number
definitely going to be
one
fun.
background-
I like it. I love me some mutants, and I feel like she's.
Are people really
Yeah.
screaming for Dust has to be top meta? Like, let her be. Just
I
make her
feel like what I think is cool is that I feel like she's different than the other mutants.
Yes.
Other than I mean, she shares like punishing
Her
purifiers like with Jubilee, but her kit seems to be way different than some of the other mutant champs. So I think that'll be a fun thing to explore and see. So
she seems like a blend of a few other champs from a couple other classes coming together. Like,
which
really,
that's
really
that's one of the
organic
things we
for it.
talked about. That's one of the things we talked about last week when we were speculating about Shathra's potential kit. Being a mystic that's strong against science champs because they're strong against Spider-Verse champs or whatever. Like, it seems like Dust is going to be a little different than your typical mutant champ. Even though, obviously she's going to be good against skill champs because there's a lot of purifiers. But
Yeah,
the
that's what
only
Egg
one,
was saying.
the only one thing I kind of wish we would have had was that they would have maybe done a little thing where she would have gone against the meta. But like, there is. We have Magneto, who's already strong against robots. I just think it would have been really cool if part of her kit was like the sand can like gum up, like can like reduce ability accuracy on like the different robots because like it's silicone. That you don't want to get that. I don't know if you guys know, but if you get some sand on your chips, on your microchips and stuff, you got to throw those things away. Like if you damage those or get them messed up,
So this is true,
cool,
but
right?
I think that they didn't want to step on Ironheart's toes because
absolutely don't want to destroy.
Because I don't know if you noticed that or not, but Ironheart has or reduces ability accuracy for robots. That's part of her kit. So
I hadn't actually had an opportunity to see that. That's
yeah. So
cool. Okay.
robots, mutants, and there's one other thing. I don't remember what the other one was. But yeah, she reduces ability accuracy against robots, and they were talking about it in the CCP the other day about why it's a lore thing because of like her familiarity with like technology and stuff.
Yeah.
So
absolutely makes sense. Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
You could tell the designer is really having fun with.
Okay, so
I
it's
asked the designer a question today actually too.
So it's all robots, and then any opponent under a tracking effect, they have 100% offensive ability accuracy reduction when they hit her block, and then mutants it's
really cool.
Mutants it's 150. So
that's
and she can also parry non-contact attacks and block mutants unblockable specials whenever they have a tracking effect on. So take that.
A lot of mutants are unblockable specials.
Take that, Onslaught and Sauron and all those fun ones. So, Weapon X, Sauron, the annoying mutants.
Oh,
unblockable.
I just learned how to properly fight Sauron too. Like I just figured out how to handle him properly.
You use Psycho Man.
The unblockable.
You use Psycho Man or Iron Man, and then you don't have to worry about Sauron anymore. That's how you.
Oh, you guys pronounced Nimrod incorrectly.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, Nimrod too.
I don't use Nimrod, but no, it's usually just the.
The I only got 6-star Nimrod like 3 weeks ago, so, and you know what my life's been like the last 6 weeks, so But yeah, I took Nimrod to rank 3 immediately when I pulled him, but it took me forever to finally pull him, which was actually good because
day 1 rank 5.
It was actually good for me though because like I learned how to use Omega Sentinel during that time because I don't have Warlock as a 6-star either, so I had to learn to like do what I had. So like I learned how to fight some of those fights with Psycho Man, and I learned how to play Omega Sentinel better, and kind of play around some of those fights using other tech champs since I didn't have Nimrod or Warlock to do the cheesy, easy stuff. So it was good, but it's fun because like I know that people think I'm just, I just bring up Psycho Man to be annoying, but like he literally is good for some of those really tough mutant fights that are normally a pain. Like he works great against Sauron. He's super solid against Bishop. Like there's a lot of like painful mutant fights that he actually does really well against. So,
Oh, absolutely.
so
I mean, that makes sense. I'll be honest with you. I got Nimrod 6-star a while ago. I've had him for a while, but
yeah,
he was my first ever champ. I max ranked him the day I got him.
nice.
Like I took him up to rank 5 the day I got him, and then I used him. He's only for war for me, because otherwise, like if maybe battlegrounds, but otherwise I prefer using other champs, and things it's a little too fast. So if it's a hard fight, sure, I'll bring him in, but otherwise I prefer using someone like Omega Sentinel. She's very powerful. She's really fun to use, or LDS is really fun. I need to get her as a 7-star, but right now I'm having fun with her as a 6, and she does her work. And I can't wait to get my Cap Sam awakened, because as soon as that happens, he'll go rank 2. Like there's a lot of other really cool techs. And speaking of really cool techs, one that I'm really interested in just so happens to be being introduced this month. And I was wondering if there was any cool synergies
Transitions,
that
folks.
they might want to let us
There we
know.
go.
That's-
Perfect. I was
that's
just
how
about
you-
to. I was like,
that's
do I
how
cut
you-
him off? Do I wait?
That's how you transition, everybody. That's how you transition.
I love it, dude. Perfect, dude. So yeah, Ironheart, which is really cool because we talked about her last week. Her bio is quite literally what we talked about. She started at MIT. She used the tech available at the school, made an Iron Man suit, was endorsed by Tony, and has been Ironheart ever since, which is pretty awesome. So her first synergy, of course, is with the champions, with Miles, Kamala, Dust, and Viv. No coming soon section. I just want to point that out there. Just no coming soon character. But yeah, if you want to explain that synergy to everyone, Pastor Coco.
Yeah. So for Miles, Miss Marvel, or Kamala, and Dust, the final hit of Special Attack 1 pauses personal debuffs and furies. And then for Ironheart and Viv, it reduces the duration of armor up cooldowns by 2 seconds. So pretty solid synergy for Viv and Ironheart, I think. I haven't used I don't use the other ones enough to know how that will affect them. Well, I know Dust, you're going to be stacking debuffs a lot, but and pausing Kamala.
No coming soon is what I was saying.
Pausing Kamala's
Pretty
fury.
soon that's a rip on Sam, I guess.
Yeah.
Rip to Sam. Well,
Well, I think Braun was the most likely. I'll be honest.
I would have loved Braun, but I still see Braun coming in. But I see Braun coming in through a couple other synergies, possibly like more Mantis and stuff like that, or a Gamma relation than champions.
We'll talk about it. I got some ideas.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
So
definitely.
they're expanding the champions this month. So 2 champions, quite literally. It makes sense. It's kind of funny on brand that it's the team called the Champions, and they're promoting for the game Marvel Contest Champions. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, and so our next synergy is going to be family with Iron Man and Infinity War Iron Man. Pretty self-explanatory. Him being her mentor through the AI, and then obviously when he wasn't the AI, it's his real self helping her out. So yeah, explain to me how that helps out each champion.
So it's just your standard, health gain synergy. It's all champions gain plus 6% health. So, you've seen it on other champs, and the last one is similar. It's just a standard all champions gain a percentage thing, but yeah, the Iron Man one is the family one is health. Sure, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't want to cut you off. Sorry.
No, you're good.
All right. So I'm excited about the enemies one because I wanted to read up. I was reading up on her. So obviously it's with Captain Marvel, the classic version, which is Carol Danvers. You have Infamous Iron Man. You have Ultron Prime, so the MCU version. You have Rhino and Doctor Octopus, which is very interesting. Doing some research on this. So Rhino is actually one of the first villains she's ever faced, which is a really cool. I like that reference. Carol Danvers, of course, is responsible for putting Tony in the coma during Civil War II, which obviously Ironheart was in that time, and she got the AI, so that's why Tony wasn't a part of her story at that time. I'll skip to Infamous Iron Man. During his story, Ironheart appears, which is really cool because they're kind of battling for the legacy of Tony. So that's really awesome. And then Otto Octavius, I think, is actually a reference to Lady Octopus because she fights Lady Octopus in the comics. So kind of a nice fill-in character for that.
Sure.
And then Ultron Prime, I was like, I can't find anything. I don't think she's ever fought Ultron. So I asked the designer, and he said that he thought it was just perfect to put Ultron as the enemy because it makes sense. So I'm nice. At least I got an answer on that one. So yeah, I'm excited. That was some cool, a lot of cool comic stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot of cool comic. What a cool character to have Rhino as your first villain. Like,
yeah,
you don't think of him fighting anybody besides, Spider-Man and Spider-Man characters, but he gets around.
Egg says Ultron's an enemy in the EQ, so that does make sense. Quite literally an enemy in the contest. I like that.
Yeah, I noticed in the background of the splash screen, I was like, that's Ultron's face back there. So did you want to talk about the other synergy, Jay? Did you see that one? The Wakanda one?
Oh, I did skip that one.
Yeah, Wakanda Strong.
Forever synergy.
Yeah. So
with Black Panther
with Shuri and regular Black Panther. Not Civil War, the comic Black Panther. Yes. So for Black Panther, the first and final hits of his Special 1 have 100% chance to be a critical hit. And then Shuri's Special 1 attack hits have a 30% chance to inflict shock debuffs. And then for Ironheart, the last hit of her Special 1 gives her an unstoppable buff for 8 seconds. So that's what that synergy is. So, which I can't remember. I'm trying to remember how her kit works. I was trying to think if the unstoppable would be how the unstoppable would be beneficial as far as to her loop, but
I feel like that Shuri synergy is going to be very strong.
I was going to say,
stronger before.
Yeah, I feel like the Shuri one, I feel like it will definitely be very, very good for her. Alexa, hush!
I mean, if we hadn't had that...
Counterpunch. Counterpunch is what Egatron says.
Counterpunch. Oh, yeah, Counterpunch. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wanted to add, Shuri, Ironheart started doing missions for Shuri with Wakanda in the comics as well, so also a comics thing. So not just strictly MCU, but it's nice that they kind of tied it both in.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Yeah, I'm excited
for her to be connected to Ironheart for sure, but. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
We also have a live stream this week or next week. Friday.
I think
Friday they announced.
As I say, I think they're announcing Summoner Shores
this
Friday.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
I won't be there. I'll be in work.
Any predictions going in, guys?
Shathra, I think, doesn't she got this? What do you guys think?
I feel like Shathra's got this.
It feels
that's the vibe,
feels like that's the one I've seen talked about the most. But
I know they said not to judge
we've
it
been
based on their...
but we've been
engagement.
fooled by online engagement before, so
so much.
I guess we'll see.
Well, even the write up, because those write ups, I was like, oh yeah, Shathra sounds way cooler. But then I
Yeah,
can't
that too.
remember. Somebody was like, "Don't judge, make your decision based on what we wrote," or something like that.
Yeah,
I
so
think Mike said that.
well, DLL said it too. Like DLL was like, please vote for the champion you want, not what you think their kit's gonna look like, because they're
Yeah.
still
That's who it was.
they're
DLL.
still very much
DLL
like
was
this
perfect.
is an idea. It's not. There's not really a lot of concrete to the kit yet. If there was concrete to the kit, like people were complaining about it, but combination of Agent Venom and Taskmaster had me going, okay, let's go, come on, I love it, let's go.
I'm
But
gonna lie, that sounds really cool. Like I
Yeah.
personally only just recently started playing Taskmaster, and he's so much fun to play once you get the rhythm and you get that sig up. So
I
totally could see that being worth it.
I have been steadily sigging up my Taskmaster. I can't wait till he's max sig. I'm so excited.
I'm pretty sure
Lot of-
it was like one of the. I don't think it was EOP, but it was maybe the year before that when they did some other type of weird pain gauntlet type thing. But one of those Taskmaster was like a cheese for one of those fights, and I remember I was just like, what? Everybody in the alliance was like, use Taskmaster, bro. I'm like, who has Taskmaster ranked up? And then they were like sharing videos. And I was like,
do.
oh, I got Taskmaster ranked up now.
Yeah.
I do, and I did
He's
not.
really
I did not rank him up for any cheese. I ranked him up because I love Tony Masters.
I mean, it literally is all cheese
Dude,
though, because that loop is very cheesy. It's just once you get that stuff up and you're just spamming those specials, it's very cheesy to get that off.
I like him a lot.
Taskmaster's such a cool character, also in the comics. Like it's just devastatingly sad character in the comics.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, I wanted to-
so mad that they ruined him in the MCU.
Keep
Anyway,
on track. I
anyway,
could talk for so long about that. I want to say for Black Tarantula, Egatron mentioned that, which I didn't mention this, but obviously we talked about Black Tarantula being, a Hispanic character from Argentina. So it could be some, big representation for not only, South America, Central America, but
Absolutely.
he has a spider on his face. So, the basic community that does not engage online could be like, hey, another Spider-Man. I'd love to see that. So, yeah,
that is a valid
This
thing.
Valentine's Day,
No,
all
Yeah.
out
way.
Like related. I think they do. I think that they think he's Spider-Man related completely, because I've seen people saying it like another Spider-Man person, and I'm like,
hey,
which
fought
one?
Spider-Man. Stole his mask, but not,
Yeah,
He only
not a
shoots
spider.
webs out of his butt. That's all.
And lasers out of his eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Concussive force beams.
that was actually one of the things that made me sad when we said no coming soon on
Yeah.
the Champions thing. I was like, aw, I was always hoping for a Kid Clops. Maybe that was going to be the Cyclops they introduced. That would actually be really good.
Well,
We
remember,
did Loki.
kids. Well, remember, no kids in MCOC.
Yeah.
Except for Penny, and
Hey, she's in a mech suit.
she's still a
Design.
kid though.
I mean, he's not really a kid. He's like a teenager, or like. I mean, but we could have done it with the what's the mirror? What's the mirror?
What
The one that's
mirror?
in space. The space mirror that makes
The
them
space
extra
mirror?
powerful. The one that
I don't know. It's the space mirror. I don't.
Dude,
I'm
you
not.
happen-
I don't remember what it's called. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called either.
black is it? It's not the black mirror, is it? No. I remember he got really powerful. They've all got really powerful. I mean, Beast learned how to use magic, and Angel got like super space wings. It was very cool. So I don't know. I was thinking maybe they introduced
Space
younger
mirror.
Cyclops from the future or from the past. That would have been so cool.
From the future past.
From the future past.
We got two Cyclops that need some love first. We don't need to talk
Yeah.
about another Cyclops until they're done.
Well, I mean, we have two Captain Americas before they released a really, really good Captain America.
That is true.
Ooh,
It's
man,
fair.
it is true.
We need to fix, fix, I guess is accurate, but buff Loki after that amazing season finale. Jeez Louise.
So,
I mean,
Okay.
spoilers. Spoilers.
he does his job
Oh,
so well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
he
love
does his job very well.
I need to watch it still. I haven't watched
Okay.
it yet.
Oh no.
I want to segue since we're talking about Loki. I want to start. We're gonna talk about the narrative roadmap, guys. Since we
Yes.
got
Yeah,
47
sure.
minutes, so let's
Yeah,
let's hop in
let's-
here because
Yeah, let's definitely talk about
were
roadmap.
teasing something Asgardian related for next month's champions, which I'm really excited to talk about. So narrative roadmap. They talked about basically giving us basically a classified version of Event Quest. So kind of like marking out one
Redacted.
word, maybe two
Redacted
words,
titles,
just
yeah.
Yeah, redacting titles to make sure because we're too good at our job for predicting. We're too good at it. So they gave us a little tease. They said the blank and the blank. They said it's such a giveaway. It's going to be like adventure related, a cosmic and a mystic. Going to have to do with Yggdrasil, the world tree that's helping revive the battle realm from Galactus' destruction. Scorgo's going to be part of the event.
Has anyone checked on XN?
I've checked on XN, dude. Dude, because
He's
Egg was there. Egg was there, and we were like, the Beauty and the Beast. It's right. Like, the Beast is going to be
Absolutely.
Beta Ray Bill, right?
Absolutely.
Dude. Asgardian, it's going to be crazy if it's not.
I see the prediction.
But do you
for
think
the
we're getting
contending
Enchantress instead of like Agatha or something like that?
I don't
I'm
see either
Beta
of those. I have a different magic user in my
Ooh.
mind.
Who are you thinking,
Morgan
Bill?
Le Fay.
Absolutely.
Morgan?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Morgan has such a
Yeah.
connection to Asgard. They can totally deal with like her grabbing a the Twilight sword or something like that, and it's affecting. I don't know. She's
Man,
done all that stuff before.
I hope they put the
And
dinosaur
she
in
is-
her special 3 that was in the art that they used for
They
Summoner's
got
Choice.
I will
I'd
say
really-
Morgan's my second pick for that
I'd
Mystic
be
spot,
that'd
so
be
I don't
awesome.
disagree at all.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. But Enchantress or
Wasn't
something
she
like that
Blake
is.
Camp?
I also think that Morgan could work because we're not supposed to think like this, but you can think of other characters that exist currently in the game that can connect to her. And yes and no, but we have Hulkling in Wiccan, and Hulkling happens to use a sword that happens to be called Excalibur.
Well,
Technically,
Excelsior!
Excelsior, but it's Excalibur. Come on, let's be honest here. It is Excelsior. But having
I love that name.
Morgan come in and like just the connection to what that's supposed to represent and what it was for him to have that, and it's fantastic. I mean, the name is so important also to the comics and everything. It's amazing that they were able to do that. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I totally think that we're getting Horseboy, and I can't explain how happy I am for this month, next month. These are like, this is my year so
Horseboy.
far. Let's get
Horseboy.
guys, let's
We're
go.
getting a Horseboy.
It-
Yeah.
Robot
Horse-faced
Horseboy,
Bill.
is that better?
Robot horse
Horseboy.
alien boy.
Cyborg Horseboy who has the powers of Thor through
Rob-
magic of Odin, the cosmic
Robot
In the
alien
cosmic
alien horse Asgardian Thor boy or
I just hope they do Stormbreaker. I hope they do Stormbreaker correct. Just want the hammer to look right. I just want it to look right.
Do you want the comics or do you want MCU? Do you want?
No, I want comics. I want it to be silly. I want it to look silly because like comics Stormbreaker looks a little silly. It's like
It's like a weird axe hammer. It's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
I love it. I love the OG one. It's so cool. I mean, giving Stormbreaker from the movies, it's not his. It's not his. It should be the silly hammer
Yeah.
axe. I love it, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but their like the effects have gone really crazy and really great, and I can't wait to see what they do with like lightning.
Dude,
It's gonna be
I think
really
after
good.
he comes, I don't think anyone's gonna ask for Infinity War Thor anymore because Peter
No,
Bell
they
is
won't
gonna
need
blow it out the park.
Yeah, I
We
think
don't
that's
need
why
it
we haven't
anymore.
gotten them. I think that's why we
I
haven't
gotta-
gotten them,
For
because
Bill.
they're all
Tag
waiting
me.
for Bill.
I gotta be honest, I've been waiting for Bill to show up since his face was on the tower in Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
Ragnarok.
like,
Yeah.
so, I
sat
mean,
there and I went, oh my god, that's Bill.
yeah. So, I mean,
Dude.
and I'm not somebody that's like super attached to Beta Ray Bill. I've never read anything with him in it or anything, but he's an iconic looking character. Like, I've just seen him and stuff. And so, like, I've been waiting for him to show up for a long time. And I knew that we were going to get him at some point. And it might as well be next month, you know? Why not?
Yeah, number 3 on the wish list, man. Number 3 on the wish list.
Yeah.
He has a lot of connections to people currently in the game beyond the obviouses of Thor. He has so many. He's been in the comics for so long, and he's been involved in so many really interesting.
Annihilator.
Well, and
events.
we have Annihilators, because the Annihilator synergy has a coming soon spot, right? So
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
so yeah.
Ooh,
So
Tim
that
in the
was.
chat. Thank you for the raid.
Hey
He
Sim.
says community expectations for Bill are gonna make it almost impossible to please the community. I
He's
agree.
he's not wrong.
Hey man, we can always win.
He's not wrong about that, but you know, it's worth a shot. They can try.
Hey,
To be
we
fair,
got
it's
Mr. Nickel in the
impossible
chat.
to.
It depends
Yeah,
on
Impossible
it
to make
depends
that
on who's designing
happy
him,
all
you
the
know.
time anyways.
I know that DLL has another champ coming up in the next couple of months. I don't know if it's next month, but I know he has another champ coming up soon. So I think
I'm partial.
DLL's up to the
DLL.
challenge if he's the one that gets Bill.
Hey,
so.
he needs a cosmic on his belt.
But
He
but
needs
I
a cosmic
have.
on his belt.
I'm partial to DLL's chance, but I will say, I pride myself on someone who can find a positive about most champs, and honestly, it's become easier and easier in the last year, last couple of years. Really, with the way that they've been designing these champs, they're coming together a lot better. So honestly, I can't wait to see whoever comes out and you know takes the lead on Bill. Or
So they
whoever next month,
absolutely
can't wait.
they absolutely killed champ designs last year. Like
Yeah.
they
I
did
will
such
say
a great job.
I don't
yeah.
know if I admit it. I was wrong with Bullseye. I made a comment. I didn't like Bullseye. I'm wrong. Bullseye's great. You know, it's. I think we just gotta look at
That's
the,
what you
the way
get
the
for
champs
doubting
years.
Thomas, man. You don't doubt Thomas. Thomas can doubt, but you can't doubt Thomas. No. Eclipse.
Yeah,
Eclipse is
I mean,
so
I don't
great.
know.
I love his champ so much. Like I'm so.
it was
Dude,
really
absolutely.
thoughtfully designed, really well designed.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you figuring out where to use the right champ. I think that's the trick to these. The way they're designing now, we have all these different game modes that everybody wanted more stuff to do, and now we have it. And having one champ that would be the best at every single area in the game would make sense. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't make sense.
I am
So,
really
all these
sad.
redesigned champs.
I'm really sad because I did not get the Deathless Groot piece because I just got so
Oh no.
bogged down with other stuff that I did not explore Thronebreaker.
I
So
missed it too.
I didn't get to the Gauntlet, and I'm sad because Eclipse is the one that did Deathless Groot, and so I have to have
Oh.
Deathless Groot.
Just
So-
save up 5,000 units and you
Yeah, I
can
know,
Six
right?
hundred
I'm gonna have
5,000 years.
I'm gonna have to, or maybe my buddy Noel
man.
will, you know, wail out for me, and you know, I may have to buy me some units. I will do it for Deathless
We'll
Groot.
talk.
I'm not even joking. I will totally do it for Deathless Groot.
Yeah, he looks badass.
So
Yeah, bro.
Eclipse shared like the vision. He shared this thing the other day. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell this, but I'm going to. He shared. It was like Kit Vision or something like that, and it said King Groot but gothier.
Dude, he's such a meme lord.
He's hilarious.
Depending on what we
He's
see
great.
depending on what we get as Deathless Groot's kit, I think it will fairly establish what the other champs kits look like
Yeah.
going forward. Like
Yeah.
if they're just revamped, like if it's the reintroduction of OG Groot's kit, then we know, okay, they're just trophy champs. There's really
Yeah.
no reason to argue. There's no chase unless you want them and you really want that Thanos. Right now, I think people.
Hey,
still
they all
don't
come
get
together
that.
for that Thanos.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Thanos is the Megazord. Totally makes sense. That's the way I've looked at it from the beginning. You know
Yeah.
how many times I saw individual Zords beat any monsters? Maybe once. You don't do that. You need the Megazord. So like, who expects? I mean, people really upset about this. I don't get it. She seems like she's doing her job. She's there what she's there for, and don't grind
Dude,
her
I
if you
killed it
want her at
with
this point.
her. I used her in VGs last season, and she
Yeah,
killed
you were
it.
saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
She was a beast, and nobody banned her because everybody thought she was shit.
It's
So I got a
DGM damage.
Argillian there
DGM
just
damage is so
crushing it.
good. As long as
Yeah.
you don't use her against the wrong champ, she's so good. As long as you just don't use her against someone like I Hulk or Negs or someone that can heal from it. Just don't, and you're good. She seems great. I can't wait. I'm gonna go. I think next week I'm gonna bother finishing it off. Just have to
I
get
gotta
that
learn
last.
Werewolf by Night. He was my Titan that I pulled.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I said I was gonna do it on the show, and then I got excited and opened it prematurely.
He's real good,
It's
bro.
really, really
He's
fun.
real
Just
good.
dance around, tap at them, bounce around, bounce back to get your howls off.
Dance and tap.
And
Dance
then,
and tap.
Yeah. But seriously, like, you don't have to do much. Just kind of go in and push them away, dance around until you get your howls all up. As soon as the howl's fully up and you get your roar off, and you're fully unblockable and everything, just go in with a big SP2, finish it off with an SP1. Usually everything's dead.
You literally
Sure,
just
still in
you
the
literally just described like half of the champs in the game. Just dance and tap. Just dance and tap.
That's usually what the case is. Yeah.
Robin Williams.
SP2,
So-
SP1 done.
Do we want to try and get the other
Sim, if you're
other
still in the
roadmap
chat, can we make
predictions in, Jay?
That? Can you
Or do we
make a
need
Werewolf
to
by
save
Night
that for
video,
next
bro?
week? I do need to make one.
What do you guys want? We're at an hour, and we got 4 months to go. Do you guys want to run through it real quick? We're at an hour.
I mean, I'm down.
You
But
guys all in?
yeah, we're good.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Alright.
So what was
Let's do it, let's do it. We
April's
got some people
tease?
watching the stream. All right, April's tree. I was about to say trees. April's teases were pretty interesting because I think this is probably the most 50-50 split. They said change the blank, so which is really interesting. They said a science and a tech. They said it's they've never had two champions of a name before. It's going to have some multiverse stuff in it because basically I think these characters are invited to a party, but it's not what they think. And wow, there's some interesting things because you take the similar of a name and we were running. We went Lizard and Wizard, like the first thing we thought about. They just run, Lizard Wizard, right? And then I kind of moved the direction of Spider-Punk and Iron Spider, and now I'm on Spider-Punk and Prowler because they're both Hobby Brown. But honestly, dude, it could be nothing related to any of these characters. Like, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I don't think it's Spider-Punk. I don't think we're going to get Spider-Punk this year.
Jackson's birthday, man. Birthday month. Come on.
I know, but like, that'd be a really
Punk's
big
pizzazz
move to
synergy?
introduce I love it. But to introduce a character for the meme of one of the community, like of one of our community managed people, that'd be amazing. I love it.
Well,
Hey,
I
man.
mean, in all fairness,
Super popular with the movie.
it's not just for the
It's
meme.
true.
Like, Spider-Punk has been...
No.
People have been bringing up Spider-Punk for a while, not just Jax. But that's an interesting thing, because I didn't think about that aspect of it, of them both being Hobie.
That's the part I like about it, though.
That's
I
I
do
like, yeah.
see
That's
that, yeah.
But, I mean, it could also be two Spider-Men, Like, it could be Spider-Punk and
Yeah.
Superior, or...
Iron Spider.
Or, yeah,
Jessica Drew. I don't know, man.
Oh...
Did I miss something? Is it confirmed to be Spider-Verse? As to
No,
as
so-
it-
No,
it's
it's
not-
just
it is not
not
Spider-Verse.
confirmed, but
2 years in a row of Spider-Verse events in April could be a pattern.
Yeah, but I would
Science
say
and
that
tech.
I think
Do you
they
think-
lean
do you
more
think
into-
it-
What was the EQ title again? Change the blank? Is that
Change
what
the
it was?
blank.
Okay.
Yeah, so people are thinking like change the name, change the mask,
Change the
change the
game?
tune,
change
change
the
the game. I think that's what Jack said.
Hold on. Thunderbolts. Change the mask.
Why Thunderbolts
Science
though?
and tech.
Because we've been getting
it's
more
too early.
Thunderbolts. We've been getting a lot of Thunderbolts introduced. Oh, I'm not even thinking because of the movie. I'm just thinking we've been getting a lot of Thunderbolts. There's a lot of challenges surrounding them nowadays. There's a couple ones.
There was a new team.
I'm trying to think.
They're not going to be. I would think the Songbird work. I usually work my way from a champion.
I love Songbird, dude.
But I think she could fit. Really trying to put a sound-based champion.
Bam Spinks. Shout out to former Bam employee.
You think Songbird would be science? I can't remember how she got her powers. Yes. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she'd be science.
So it could be like Songbird. Could be like Songbird and Fixer or Techno, maybe. Mach 5.
She'd be science or tech. 5. Right, yeah. Science-based powers, but amplified by tech.
Yeah.
That's true.
You could have Mach 5.
Or Fixer or Techno. Some of those are the same person, but they just changed names.
But then we did also get Beetle. Beetle would be an interesting idea because Beetle was Mach 5 before he was Mach 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I work my way the other way around. So sorry. I'll figure out.
I like it, dude. That one is really hard. Like I literally changed my prediction.
Well,
like,
I mean,
before the prediction, I was very.
They did do this so that Jay couldn't just get them all right immediately. So I mean.
Tyler's listening, and like all Bam are listening. They're like, "We got him."
They're so happy right now. They're like, "Yes, we did it. We stumped him." All right. So what's May?
All right, so May is pretty cool. Okay, I changed my predictions actually because I did want to note that they said it's not Stay the Battle Round anymore. That's dead. I want to say dead in water with Gabe leaving. It's now the roster map, and that is not to correlate too much with the narrative roadmap this year. It seems like
this time.
That's what Mike told me on Twitter. So so he'll fix it for the future, which is awesome. I'm glad he told me because I was like, May I wanted to go Deadpool route, but we went more of like what fit the map better. So May is going to be Mercs for Money, which is very interesting and something I think Bam have been planning for a while with like the Los Mercs for Gold thing from the State of the Battle map 2 years ago. So it's May. It's going to be I'll just say the train job just so we don't have to make the same joke they did. A mutant and a skill. So they're trying to do a train. They're trying to do a heist for a strange object. Said 2 Mercs for Money or Mercs for Money are coming in. Whether that refers to 2 or not, we'll see. There's going to be some rival action. There's going to be some. Tyler was talking about like movie, like having like buddy cop vibes. And so I immediately went to Mystique and Silver Sable to fit the map. But guess what comes out? What would have come out the same month? Deadpool 3.
I was gonna say Deadpool 3. Yeah.
Deadpool 3. So I switched to Negasonic and Gorilla Man. Negasonic, obviously, from Deadpool 1 and 2. Gorilla Man I just picked because I couldn't pick a better skill. I mean, maybe it's Madcap. But maybe that's why Tyler was swiping hats every month. I don't know. It could be Maverick, Solo. There's a lot of choices.
Slapstick. I want Slapstick.
For Money and someone else. Slapstick as well.
Give me Slapstick, you
that
cowards.
That skill confuses me, but I feel good on Negasonic.
Give me Slapstick, you cowards. Give me Slapstick. Be bonkers. Be awesome.
Yes. He's got the hammer pocket just like Spider-Ham.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things because again, I like to look at it from the other side, and I mean, they already have a lot of the animations already in the game for like hammer hits and like stuff like that. That'd be really cool.
And even like the animation style of Spider-Ham would be good for Slapstick as well.
Cartoony. Yeah.
The like cell shading.
What a cool idea. I do think that I think the first who put Fang down originally? Was it you who put Fang down? Was that for May?
But who? Who'd you say?
Fang. That was for the next one. No, Fang.
Oh, that's for the next one. F-A-N-G.
Wolverine's.
Fang, Fang, boom. Or Fang.
Like Wolverine's.
Dakin.
See, this is why we use Dakin, because you can understand it, even though apparently you can't use it anymore. Anyway, Wolverine's son. There we go. Wolverine's son.
Well, I wanted to say before we moved on to May, like Donovan, someone in the chat said Donovan's predictions. I think Donovan said Silver Sable and someone else, or was it? What did Donovan say? KB, do you remember? Donovan's predictions for May. had something that was different. I can remember.
That was he was commenting on that on your Twitter, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what he said.
Because he's also an alliance leader for us, so I get it both in the ally chat and on Twitter. So I don't I see his write ups everywhere. I get them confused where they're coming from.
Oh yes, he said Echo. Okay, that's what it was. Now I'm looking at it. He said Echo because Echo just had a train heist in her show.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty interesting.
Ooh, and Gil. Echo would be skill.
It would be skill, yes.
Very nice.
Yeah. So Samurai's another option too if they want to go the skill route, not the mutant route. But yeah, May's a lot of interesting. Works for Money is something that I'm very interested on for sure. Like the whole original Works for Money is that they all dress like Deadpool so they can all get his like get the same pay rate basically as Deadpool because Deadpool can't be killed, so he's so good at his job. So yeah, there's some interesting, and then the second one was run by Domino, so there is some different options, and they could totally go just random. Like I'm very excited.
Well, every time they bring Deadpool in, they could do some really cool stuff.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's go on to June. We'll talk about my Fang and Bastion prediction originally that I changed. Those two, I gotta feel like they're coming anyways, regardless. I don't care if I switch my predictions. They're coming, dude. Like, I'm just thinking too early staring at that map 24/7. But June is really cool. June, I think I'm most excited for. A confirmation, actually, that probably one of the easiest ones to predict, I feel like. June is actually going to be all fun and blank, which I think immediately everyone was like, all fun and games. They confirmed, I think they specifically said mutant Alpha Flight member going against a tech villain. The tech has an action figure that Tyler has in his collection. It's going to have to do with maybe a Deadly Contest of Champions, tie into January's event, which January's event was basically all of New York being built by Yggdrasil, the World Tree, and so a lot of territory has to be claimed, and maybe Arcade wants to go in there and just take over and just make it a whole murder world of funly death traps for everyone to go under. It's going to be a lot of reference-heavy stuff, so yeah, I think Arcade seems to be the most popular and something we talked about. And as a Marvel Ultimate Alliance fan who went to Murder World in that game, I feel pretty excited if this is true.
I'm down.
What do you guys think?
I'm down. If it's Arcade, I'm down for it. There is a Marvel Legends. There is a Marvel Legends arcade figure that came out, so it does exist. So.
Dude. Yeah, I remember that too, because I was thinking, because I had Bastion and Arcade in my head. I was like, dude, they both have action figures, but who would Tyler have as an action figure? Like, I'm just trying to think, get into the headspace. And of course for the mutant as an Alpha Flight member, which is, if you know Alpha Flight, at least the first one, there's only like 2 mutants we don't have in the game, because everyone else is either Mystic or Skill or technically Gamma. So it's got to be North Star, I feel like, for the original team. Fang, we talked about Dakin, is actually helping run the new Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
So that's some options there. But the North Star twins, the Wonder Twins of Marvel. What do you guys think?
I think if you're saying it, then it's probably going to happen. And I'm all for it.
So, like I said the other day, especially with it being June, they usually try to have, a
Pride Month.
A Pride Month focus thing or Pride Month character. So, for those of you that don't know, North Star was the first openly gay character in Marvel Comics. So, I think that makes a lot of sense. And also, just North Star and Aurora are very pretty popular characters too. So, I could totally see them. Null's phone died.
Aiken as well, man. He's a pretty bisexual king, I gotta say, man.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Here's my question. Do you think if we get North Star, do you think it'll be North Star and Aurora, like, as, like, a combo champ, or...
Dude, I hope. So North Star's powers, they do have sort of different powers, but obviously when they come together, they'd be amplified. So I think if not, at least like Jessica has Lucation or SP3. At least I think they can do that. Or make a relic first time, like that would be something. Just on top of relic, I know like relics are on the hold, so probably not. But there's a lot to like. It's just like I think Cloak and Dagger should be 2 champions. So the North Star twins would be pretty dope. Is that is this month double mutants? It is not double mutants, sadly. I don't think Kabam are doing double months to what we've seen in the past very long time anymore.
It's mutant and tech, right? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, mutant and tech. Yeah, but tech villain and mutant alpha flight member.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd say North Star is a pretty solid bet. I'm trying to think about other Alpha Flight members because Puck would probably be skill, right? Even though, is he technically a mutant?
He's not a mutant, no.
Yeah,
I think he'd be skill, but there's argued that his powers are technically from a curse, so it's very hard. I'd be very surprised to see a double month.
Shaman would be Mystic. Snowbird would probably be Mystic.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. A lot of people didn't realize that she's not a mutant.
Wendigo would be Mystic, probably. Or Science, I guess, but probably Mystic. And then, I mean, there's Fang, and so, I mean, he's mutant. But
what if it's King of the Skies? It's just that entire time.
But, I really, so, I mean, North Star, Aurora, and then Dakin or Fang are really the only ones, I think. Unless there's newer ones that I'm not aware of, but
there are, but it's I feel like there was an Alpha Flight member teased in the State of the Battle map from 2 years ago that specifically was next to Guardian and Sasquatch,
which
specifically next to them.
Yeah, which is the original team. So
yeah, I feel like is an OG.
So yeah, of the original team, I mean the only people left is Puck, Aurora, North Star, and Shaman. So I mean, Aurora and North Star would be the mutant out of the original team. So yeah. So Null's wife tagged me on Twitter and said his phone died and he was sorry, but that's where he went. So
that's funny. I was wondering what happened.
Yeah, his phone died. So. All right, so I guess
June seems cool, man.
Yeah, so that was the last month they did, right? Or is there one more? Was that the last one that they teased?
No, they teased to July.
Oh, okay.
But Mr. Nichols says, could you imagine getting some Marvel characters who had only future Ant-Man been in like 1.5 comics before hitting the game? Oh, why are you teasing like a very obscure character that has like a few comic characters?
I mean, we have gotten some,
Yeah, man. I need to read up.
Dude. I mean, my boy Psycho Man is not obscure. My boy Psycho Man is not he's not that obscure, but he's obscure. He's had more than 3 comics, but I mean, he hasn't had a ton of comics.
Modern readers.
Yeah, but the worst.
There's definitely some precedents. I want to start paying attention more. I think we talked about it that we'll probably start reading some comics to just keep up with and who we think are some upcoming some champions that Kabam might be scouting.
Yeah,
be something interesting.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't even know. Like when you said, because I think you did the predictions and you were like, I think it's gonna be a future Ant-Man. I was like, we need another Scott. Like I didn't even know that Zane existed. Like I had no idea who he was at the time. Whenever you were talking about it, I was like, why would we have another Ant-Man? That doesn't make any sense. But he's actually a pretty cool character. I had no idea who he was. So, but yeah. All right. So so what was the July tease, and then we can. Oh,
hold on, one more.
Okay. What you got?
Okay. Something for my brother drew this for a video.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
There you go.
That's awesome.
I like your brother
That's cool.
already, Jay.
That's really neat.
All right. Okay. Sorry.
No,
will we see mutants from Morocco? Oh, that'd be cool. Morocco would be sick. All right. Last one's July. Obviously the most easiest one because they teased it. I will say for June, I think MK was saying is like maybe a Mojo has to do with arcade, some stuff from teasing. I think there were like some cameras looking at the defenders, like they're being recorded or something. I gotta read through January's quest, but apparently there's some really big teases. Someone in a suit and a slimy person. If that refers to Mr. Negative in the hood, it doesn't seem like it. It might be just a tease for the actual June villain, which is pretty dope. I'm still holding hope for Escapade, small run but bigger than future Ant-Man. Interesting. Okay, for July. Let me make sure. Okay, so it was Stern Blank Prevail was the event quest name. So what? Samuel Stearns is the leader's name, because you're like, dude, it's Samuel Stearns, right? The leader, man. You know, the Shield is part of the event. You know, she heals Gamma mutates. There's a prison break from the raft. I mean, who's on the raft? The leader? Like, come on, guys. I think we all know the leader's coming. Someone who's been on my prediction for 2 years now. And the original date for Captain America: Brave New World, man. So I'm hoping him and Patriot. Like I said, these two have been on I feel like they've been on the State of Battle map for 2 years, because we had a Captain America mystery character and just a mystery spot next to I think Abomination and Overseer for like all of last year. So I was like, dude, these two characters would be like perfect tie into the movie, because when they did the Disney and like meeting, you guys remember like 2 or 3 years ago, they specifically said these characters would be in the movie.
We're almost
so
done.
I'm really hoping it's these two characters.
We'll be done in just a second, okay?
Or be surprised. Very obscure.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised. I've been waiting for Patriot for a while. Hey, we're almost done, buddy. I'll hold you in just a minute.
First skill Captain America.
Yeah. Still waiting for a mutant Spider-Man. But...
Yeah, it'll happen. However they go, the original route, Nightcrawler Spider-Man, Man Spider, it'll happen.
I think I'm trying to remember.
Fascinating insights, y'all. Look forward to finding out if you're right or not. Enjoy your night. Thank you.
I'm trying to remember the one. I don't think he's a mutant. I think he's like a entity or something. He might be Mystic from. He's in like Dark Avengers. He's like a spider god or something. His name is Ein or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, okay.
He takes like Venom in Dark Avengers originally. Matt Gargan as Venom is Spider-Man, but then this like entity thing takes his place, but I don't remember what his name is. It's like it starts with an A. He's like either a spider god or a spider like alien or something. I can't remember exactly what he is, but I was trying to remember if he was a mutant or not, but I don't think he is. I think he's like a mystic force or something crazy. Alrighty, well we went a little long, but we wanted to get all that in the same episode. So thank y'all for hanging out. Anybody that did, I don't know how many people were hanging out, but because I can just see who's in the stage.
Glad you do, man.
Good.
Thanks.
Well,
yeah, man. Whatever a lot, dude. And yeah, man.
But yeah, so if you want to share with your friends, we'd love for you can follow us on Twitter at SummonCircle24.
I'm sorry, Charlie. We're just finishing.
You can follow. It'll be on my channel in the next day or so, Charlie, and you can catch the whole thing.
Oh,
so
Charlie made it. Charlie, teach me how to use Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
But thank y'all for joining us. You can follow us. I think we're all on Twitter, and so you can follow us there, and you can follow the show. If you go to subparsummoner.com, that's where the video versions will be, and I'm streaming from time to time. Jay's streaming from time to time. KB's got his own channel. I think Null's the only one of us that doesn't. But you can find Null lurking in everybody else's streams and video chats and stuff. So, and he's around on Twitter. So thank y'all for joining us, and we will catch y'all next week. So peace out, everybody.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
Bye.